Welcome back to On the Record. I'm your host, Michael Stalk. In studio, we have Keith Myiow. So, continuing with just before the break, the electoral office involves the incumbents and the present council. They have a meeting, and what was on there? Obviously you weren't there.
No, I could. If I went in there, then that would have made any legal actions that I took null and void. I wouldn't have to take these legal steps to go and defend. I wasn't defending me. I was defending the right of the people to choose their candidates, not to have council choose those candidates for them. Moreover, what I was defending was the people's right. When you go and you vote, you have the right, according to law, under this Indian Act. People say, well, our elections take place under the custom code. The custom code is a segment of the Indian Act, which is self-government.
And any voting, regardless of what people may say or the information that they're going to put out there, it's all under the Indian Act, regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what, call it whatever you are. You can. It's like Mohawk Law.
What is Mohawk Law?
There's no such thing as Mohawk Law, other than whatever the Mohawk Council decides. I'm talking about in the Indian Act system. Whatever they decide, you're going against them. So if you're going against them, you're going against Mohawk Law. Nobody can define that. Nobody ever can define it. It's ridiculous. Mohawk Law
it's a dog law.
Mohawk Law is, continue.
Is the guy that go.
Exactly.
Did you know that? Did the community know that the band council is flying two flags, either as a union and a non-union company?
And you know what, we'll talk about that near the end of the show, because as a result of, and I say it's a result, I mean, Mohawk Council's been saying for a while that they're trying to deal with this the Court Act, Justice Act, and mediation, and it's been going on for years in the community. But I think your case brought out a lot of things that I think that we need to try to correct somehow, however it's going to be. But anyway, the 207 Longhouse had put out a press release, or actually put out a letter to the editor in one of the local papers, and said that they're not supporting it because Mohawk Council is flying those two flags, and they're either you're here or you're there. Where are you? So unless you're going to jump in the other side of the boat, then we don't support anything. But we'll get into that because, you know, it does fall into some of this. Yeah. So you're not allowed to vote. You're not allowed to run, and we go into court, and they send you to mediation. How you ended up in? How did you decide that you wanted to go to mediation, opposed to saying that nope, I'm running for Grand Chief. You're in contempt of court. I want the court to uphold the decision, and I want to run. Why wasn't that done?
The judge, Mr. Michel Shore, spoke to me outside the courthouse, and he caught my lawyers totally off balance. And he says, we're going to get a good decision, a good settlement. He says, we're going to try something in mediation. He says, he's got his plan. Okay. So just by him saying that, automatically would send messages to anyone that there's a lot of political interference. The band council is skating on thin ice and whatnot, and they are committing crimes. So contempt of court is punishable by a fine, and that fine graduates as time goes by until they conform to that federal court order. On the other side of the spectrum, of the 5 items, I'm not going to cover the intermediate ones, other with losing their houses and that, but there is a criminal offense, and that's punishable by 5 years in jail. I said that at the onset of this fiasco launched by the band council. So that's how we got into mediation, the judge's recommendation. I didn't agree with it. My lawyers were, pardon the expression, pissed off. I wanted to go directly to court. I'm sick and tired of being jerked around. The people get jerked around. You got jerked around. Danny Lahash got jerked around. This one, that one, Mr. Jacobs, and so on. Many cases. And then in the end, what happens? They have to settle. Keith Hamlin's case, they had to settle. Great. These people, and I called them the clique at the beginning, but according to this agreement, it says I have to be nice and I can't talk that way any longer. But we're going back in the past and coming forward. And then we'll even out the waves.
I mean, hey,
So,
that's you do what you got to do. I mean, it makes for good television, but the thing.
the truth is the truth. They came up with this action against me through what is known as disciplinary measures, and it's a section where it says where other council members express their lack of confidence in you,